said, you guys are all working on projects that involve kind of big things in the world that perhaps need to be changed in some way. And raise your hand if any of your topics feel to you or have felt a little or even a lot kind of depressing, kind of sad. Okay, so that's almost everyone. And of course, because we're looking at things that really do need to be changed. But sometimes I find when we study things like that, there's a little bit of that feeling of, I don't know what I can possibly do, right? I mean, we're talking about global warming and huge human rights violations, and it's a bit overwhelming. And I get that, and I know that you're probably trying to find the angles of things that you can do to make a difference. And I had this thought about this project I've been involved in. I'm from a U.S. state called Montana, and I taught at a really small school recently, but they started this project a long time ago, and it was very successful. And I just kind of wanted to plant the seed for you guys, because I think it's really important to remember that kids can make a difference in the world. So this project is called the Eco-Thon. And you've probably heard of walkathons and that kind of thing. Yes? It has to do with doing something over a long period of time, maybe to raise money often, not always. So Eco-Thon has to do with ecology or eco, trying to save the earth a little bit. And how it went is that kids, we did it kindergarten through 8th grade. And I actually could see it happening here pretty well. It could happen school-wide. It could also happen just if a group of kids wanted to do something like this. So I'm not saying you have to. I'm just throwing out an idea. What they did is they would get pledges, kind of like when you guys did laps for love, and you get pledges for every lap you did around the gym. And the purpose of this school was to raise money for field trips, kind of like Week Without Walls. And they took long field trips like that, but there was no, we tried to raise the money so parents didn't have to pay. And it can get pretty expensive. So that was the goal, was to raise money for field trips. And then some of the extra money went towards some particular charities that the kids chose to support. In our case, I think here it could be, that we choose certain charities, or actually, in truth, you could take the money out of it. You wouldn't even have to raise money, in a way. You could just do the project, and it helps the earth. So what we did is, it was a 6-hour commitment on a Saturday, which is not fun, but we could design it however you wanted to here. For 3 of those hours, kids did community service, but they were simple things. It's like we would take a community garden, and we would weed the garden, or some kids would have ideas like, hey, I stand at this bus stop every day, and there's trash, there's litter around it, and I want to just clean up my bus stop, just this small space, and they'd get a crew together to go work at that bus stop, clean up the trash, maybe plant some flowers. And one kid said, I want a bench. I sit out here before school every day waiting for the bus, and I notice that sometimes in Fumihang, actually, where I wait for a bus, there is no bench. And so they talked to the proper people in the town and said, let's get a bench there. And they figured it out. So it was just this small space, but they kind of made it a better space. People have worked fixing holes, like around here I could think of holes in the sidewalk. You know how you're walking along in Fumihang and all of a sudden all the bricks are gone and there's a hole? I don't know how it's structured here, but we could find out. Can we fix the holes in the sidewalk? What would be involved? Just to clean up kind of a little section, make it better. And then in this case, because they were raising money, they would collect the money afterwards and send out thank yous and that kind of thing. So as far as the takeaway that I just been coming in for 5 minutes to just tell about the story, the main thing is that kids can make a change, no matter how small. And that idea we always we always hear, think globally and act locally. Have you heard that? But it's true. If you think big, but act small, what little things can we do just around here, even around our school? So to think big, but to act small. So that's it. Thank you.